If you need to leave class, again, all of these rules apply whether you're at home, learning remotely, in the hybrid model, at home learning remotely, or in the classroom in person in the building with me. If you need to leave the class for any reason, you need to do a couple of things. There is a Google form in the class resources, which we'll talk about with the Google Classroom. There's a Google form that says classroom sign out. You need to go into that document, type your name, select your class block, and the reason for leaving, and hit submit. That's it. It's automatically timestamped, so I know when you signed out to go to the restroom or take a mask break or whatever it is you needed to do. So if you're in class, in the building, you fill out that form, you go only one person out of the room at a time, just to keep the distancing in the hallways and so on. You may leave the room. On your way out, hand sanitizer. On your way back in, hand sanitizer. So as my wife's in the healthcare field, and I always say pump in, pump out. Okay, when you walk into the room, you hand sanitize. When you walk out of the room, you hand sanitize, and everything in between is whatever happens in the hallway. If you are learning remotely, whether it's a remote day or you learn remotely or you're on your remote day in the hybrid model, when you leave, you still need to fill out the form so that I know what time you left and why you left. If you are on the computer, turn your camera off. Okay, your camera needs to be on when we are in class, okay, so that I can see you, and if you need to raise your hand, etc. But when you leave the room or leave the classroom, turn your camera off, fill out the form. When you come back, turn the camera back on. Okay, that is just a couple of reasons. One, it makes sure that nothing that happens when you're out of the room is on the recording. It also kind of gives me a quick visual that, okay, this person is temporarily out of the class. And if it's for a long period of time, I might need to check in and say, hey, did you forget to turn your camera back on, or are you still out? And it just helps me keep track of things a little bit more quickly. So if you're learning remotely and you need to leave, you need to take a break just like we do here. If you need to use the restroom or what have you, fill out the form, turn your camera off, turn your camera back on when you get back. There's no sign in, it's just a sign out. And again, only one person from the classroom should be leaving at a time. Obviously, I would prefer not to have the whole remote learning class out at the same time, but that's less of an issue because you're not sharing space when you leave the classroom. So just be mindful of that. And do try to leave the classes as little as possible. Okay, on hybrid days, we have a 54-minute session, then we have a 20-minute session. On the all remote days, we have 35 minutes. So, and then you have passing time in between. So please do your best to be in the class as much as possible, but we all need to take a break every once in a while. So those are the expectations for that.